Hi, this is Buster Graham, and you're watching WGS-TV.
Hello everyone, welcome to another installment of WGS-TV right here on YouTube.com/WrestleGamer and ZFXTV. I'm the WrestleGamer. WB Bully Boudreaux got a couple of guys to introduce you to. First off, he is the host of Hardcore Wrestling Radio, which can be heard exclusively on Spreaker.com/HWR Media and YouTube.com/HWR Show. He's the Illuminous One, the Shining Star, Rick Starr. Rick, how you shining?
I'm doing all right, Billy. Thanks for having me.
And he is an Instagib game show guru. He's the Bay Area MVP, known as Will. Will, how you doing?
Slow Saturday night, but let's get it going.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's like a day late and dollar short, you know, the old saying, but anyway, I did catch the replay of Friday Night Smackdown, so essentially this is the Friday Night Smackdown review for the week of June 14th, 2013. We open up with Daniel Bryan in the ring, started talking about his big match, but, you know, when he started his career, you know, he was asked, you know, did I ever think I was going to be World Heavyweight Champion? The answer was yes. Did I ever think I would lose it in an 18-second match at WrestleMania? The answer was no. And then he starts to go on talking about his partner Kane, that he never thought he would spend 9 months with the devil's favorite demon. And then he starts promoting more about his match, his tag match, Team RK-No, that he was going to be the new tag team champions. And then he asked Kane to come out, and it essentially was in a very comedic style a breakup of Team Hell No, in a sense. I mean, Rick, that's the way I viewed it. It looked like a, you know, in their style, which was, you know, sometimes intensity, but we've seen a lot in their promos. A lot of their promos are kind of, you know, comedic and entertaining in a sense, and I think this is probably the comedic, entertaining breakup of Team Hell No.
If you look at it, yeah, that's exactly the way it's pretty much been. I mean, if you go look all the way back to, I think it was like last summer when they had their anger management thing going on. Yeah.
Harold.
And now they're going to the breakup. I mean, they had a great tag team title run. A lot of people didn't think it was going to last this long. They thought it was just going to be a thing. But, I mean, let's face it.
9 months.
9 months. But most tag teams thrown together eventually do break up. And, unfortunately, this is where it comes to. So, you know, now, and, of course, you know, he was talking about, you know, that you know, Randy was, that Daniel has already thought of names. Team RK-No. And, of course, you know, which brings us to this coming Sunday.
Well, yeah, it did do that also. In fact, that, you know, that he figured that he was going to prove that he wasn't going to be the weak link, and that he and Randy Orton were going to do something that he and Kane could never do. And then Kane starts getting the implication that Daniel Bryan was calling him the weak link. Kane responds also by grabbing him in the goozle by the neck, or then again, it might have been the beard, you can never tell. And then Randy Orton comes out and says, you know what, Kane, I can't let you do that. As much as he annoys me and he annoys you, I need him 100% for our tag team title match. Daniel Bryan looks at Randy Orton saying, I didn't ask you to come out here to save me. And then they started bickering, and then we see the Shield up there, and they're cutting what basically was a big promo for the main event on Friday Night Smackdown, which we will talk about when we get to. As far as the opening goes, I gotta say, Daniel Bryan has progressed so much in the WWE throughout all these gimmicks. Kane, always good to see him. And Randy Orton, again, I can't say nothing bad about their skills at the microphone. Dean Ambrose also falls into that same vein, as far as I'm concerned. So, Rick, I got to go 4 out of 5. But the opening match on Friday Night Smackdown, Sheamus and Antonio Cesaro. 2 key things to note here. Damien Sandow came out and basically cut a promo for their payback kickoff match. Now, for once, they're actually doing a lot of build for a preview match, because in the past in the WWE, from what I know, Rick, we've never seen that, but we're seeing it now with Sheamus and Damien Sandow. And two, there was something happened. There was a certain bad spot that happened in this match, which caused Sheamus to get lacerated pretty good on his shoulder.
Yeah, I didn't actually catch where he got the laceration, but he did get a real bad laceration. If I'm not mistaken, it was on his right arm or his right upper arm towards his shoulder.
Yeah.
Um, And this was a really great match. I have to, despite Sheamus getting the win, I have to hand it to Antonio. They're really starting to give him some really great spots. It almost looked like he was going to get the win, but unfortunately, WWE being WWE had to put Sheamus over because it's close to the pay per view. I was kind of hoping that maybe, um, you know, he would have came out and kind of got the and screwed up the match, but nope, that wasn't the case to be. It happened. Damien Sandow came out after the match and then attacked him from behind after Sheamus got the win with a bro kick. It was like a kind of like a bro kick out of the clear blue. Gets the win, 1, 2, 3. Sheamus walks up the ramp, turns his back, bang. Sandow knocks him out. Damien Sandow knocks him out, and then but a great match. I have to give it a 4 out of 5.
One's got to wonder, whenever you see another man snap on those rubber gloves, that's always a sign of fear for someone, and that's what the referee did in the match. But Will, up next, I could have sworn that we were in the Twilight Zone as we saw the Great Khali. I'm not even going to mention the Hardy segment because we had let me just say we had a sexual assault on a hamburger on Monday Night Raw. So I'm not even gonna designate the Hardy segment they did this week on Friday Night Smackdown by even mentioning who was in it and what happened. That's all I'm gonna say. Because I think we all in agreement that we've had enough trauma. But the next up, I think we're in the Twilight Zone because we had a matchup with the Great Khali and Heath Slater, and it wasn't the actual match itself, but it was more along the lines the finish and the outcome of this match, Will, which leads me to believe that we've been sucked into an alternate dimension.
Oh yes, Billy, we have been sucked into what we have been known as the Jobber Zone. And what I mean by Jobber Zone is basically this. This match was the lackluster match of SmackDown. I mean, pretty much it was I don't care who wins and everything else. And then to the end of that, we had somebody distract Khali from the apron. I think it was Drew McIntyre, which enabled Heath Slater to hit the DDT. And referee counts 1, 2, 3. And Heath Slater actually wins. I don't know. I think this match reminds me of a time when jobbers were not usually jobbers, but in this match,
Is there a jobber in the house?
I'm going to give this match a 1.5 out of 5, only because the only thing that mattered in this match was there was actually interference in this match. I did not like the match at all. Though Slater got the win, I'm just going to give it a little bit of a benefit, but not that much.
For the first time in well over a month, the World Heavyweight Champion Dolph Ziggler was actually involved in a match. A tag team match, teaming up with Big E Langston to take on Chris Jericho and Alberto Del Rio. Rick, I gotta ask you this just right off the back. For his first matchup back in well over a month, how do you find that Dolph Ziggler performed to you? You know, your instant thoughts about that.
Well, first it was great to see him back, hands down. And of course, he was wrestling in perfect style. I thought, he really didn't look like he lost a step. So if you ask me, I don't think there was really a really major issue. Although, of course, the fact that They gave the win to Alberto Del Rio. I think they just did that because of the pay-per-view. They kind of had to give away, the question, is, Dolph's, Rusty, is he going to lose in the pay-per-view? They had to add that question of doubt to the mind. If Ziggler just came back and beat him, it would have just been, oh, okay, well, then he's going to win the pay-per-view. There's no doubt. You have to add doubt. It was a great match overall, so I wouldn't give it a super match, but it was a great match. I'll give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Wouldn't it be kind of expected for your first match back on TV to not be as, let's say this, Will, as crisp as you used to be?
Chris would be a dignified point to put it, but I really didn't see I'm here to show the world. What did I see in my own opinion? I got to see a 5% of I'm going to try to go as slow as I can because I'm going to save my energy for payback. So Ziggler was just trying to be quote unquote cautious in the wind because I don't think he would want to injure himself going into his match with Del Rio. So, yeah, I didn't find this too amusing at all. Not one little bit.
Now, speaking of something that really wasn't amusing at first, Kaitlyn came out to take on Aksana. Then, of course, they replayed that whole thing from Monday Night Raw. We already talked about it. You guys know what happened. And next thing you know, Kaitlyn starts breaking down, and it turns into a, if I could do the Joey Styles voice right now, I would say cat fight. But because of some throat issues I've been having, you guys notice I could barely do Will's little spiel at the beginning of the review. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but it was pretty much a cat fight. The referee kept trying to break it up, Then again, yeah, we want to see I would say two hot girls in a cat fight, but for Kaitlyn and Aksana, I would say one hot girl and one mediocre-looking girl. I'll let you guys be the judge on who's who, as far as I'm concerned. But next, Kaitlyn goes to slap Aksana straight in the face. Aksana ducks, and the referee ends up getting the taste slapped out of his mouth, as the famous words of Jerry the King Lawler would say. And that was pretty much ending in a no contest, in a sense. The matchup, to me, I don't think the matchup ever really got started. It was just more along the lines of show of, we've seen AJ break down in her career, and now we're seeing the starts of Kaitlyn breaking down in her career. We're talking kayfabe right now, guys. Don't get me wrong. We're talking kayfabe. Yeah, I'm not talking like, oh, she's about to retire and whatnot. No, it's storyline kayfabe. So get your minds out of the gutter, Will. As far as this goes, now normally I hate Aksana. I hate her with a passion. She stinks. And I said it before, and I say it again. I actually prefer Maurice to Aksana because Maurice you can actually tolerate because she's hot. Aksana is not.
Whoa, no, wait. Let's just.
Hey, we're all entitled to our opinion.
All right. I'll just say that since you're entitled to your opinion, let me give mine. Aksana is hot. The woman can't wrestle, but she's hot.
She can't even cut a promo.
No, I didn't say that. I agree with you 100% on the woman's wrestling and promo abilities, but the woman's pretty fucking hot.
2.5 out of 5. That's all I'm giving it. Will, up next, we had Curtis Axel and Wade Barrett, 2/3 of the Intercontinental Triple Threat match coming up at Payback, when Wade Barrett decides to propose a deal to Paul Heyman to save this business for Sunday. Now, as Paul Heyman was contemplating this, The Miz came out and started doing his usual spiel. I gotta say this, if Stone Cold Steve Austin can have a what shirt and Daniel Bryan can have a yes and a no shirt, why can't The Miz have a really t-shirt? Because that seems to be one of his catchphrases, more along the lines, whenever you see The Miz, you always hear him say, in a reaction, really? And the fans buy into it. You guys gotta admit, the fans buy into that. But anyway, that's not really the point of it. The Miz kind of goes him into fighting, and they end up having the match. talk about this matchup with Axel and Wade Barrett.
Well, the only thing I could say is I'm probably gonna jump on Rick's bandwagon here, but I just thought this match was your basic heel versus heel match, to where we're gonna find out who's really deserving of the title. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm gonna go on record and say Curtis Axel only had one clean win. That's right, one clean win. This match was even much from the get-go. But then again, I mean, looks can be deceiving, but this match, I'm just going to give it 2 out of 5. And we're just going to say that if Axel does get the belt going towards Payback, then something is up, and we wrestling fans are not knowing what's going on.
And probably one of the best six-man tags I have ever seen on Friday Night Smackdown. The main event, Team RK-No, Daniel Bryan and Randy Orton and Kane took on Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns of the Shield. And Rick, you gotta agree, this was by far, normally we don't see really good six-man tags in the WWE, but this main event would probably count as the exception to the rule that six-man tags are kind of lame. This one was actually really, really good.
Yeah, this was a good six-man tag, no doubt. I think they had to kind of make this one an exception to the rule, especially the way that the match, with trying to do the Sunday. So they really had to push it up a little bit more, and raise the bar, so to speak. It was an exceptional match, and the fact that they even raised the bar even more, so to speak, on all levels, and even allowed. Team RK-No and Kane to get the win over the Shield. That says something as to what's going to happen. I still say, like I said, I think one of these teams, either RK-No or Kane, somebody's going to get the win. Somebody's going to be left out in the cold. And unlike our mysterious voice on some of our shows may think, as we talked about the other night, I think, you know what? I think we're going to see a big feud going on between Kane and Bryan in the near future.
That's a possibility, definitely. Overall score on Friday Night Smackdown this week is going to get a 3.5 out of 5 from me. The opening promo with Daniel Bryan, Kane, Randy Orton, and The Shield, I thought it was okay. Sheamus and Antonio Cesaro, I believe the spot on the outside when Cesaro rammed Sheamus into the the steps, the ring steps, might have been what caused the laceration on Sheamus. I can't be certain on that, but it was still a good match. Heath Slater defeating the Great Khali. Again, are we in a different dimension where the 3MB gimmick actually makes sense? Because to me, I still don't get it. I don't see what WWE sees in the 3MB gimmick, but they're trying something. Well, I'll give them an A for effort. They're trying. They're trying their little hearts out, but I just don't see the point. Chris Jericho and Alberto Del Rio defeating Dolph Ziggler and Big E Langston. Good to see Ziggler back in the ring. I didn't expect him to see him at his crispest. I expected to see maybe a little bit of ring rust since he had been out for so long because of that concussion. Kaitlyn and Aksana. What else can I say about it that hasn't already been said? Curtis Axel defeating Wade Barrett. Again, so much emphasis placed on Axel that, all the attention is on Axel in this build. We've seen rarely anything out of Miz and Wade Barrett. Because everybody's looking at the kid. Everybody is looking at this kid and focused on what they're doing with them right now, that we might end up seeing a shocker at Payback, as far as I'm concerned. And then Team RK-No and Kane defeating the Shield in one of the best six-man tags you've seen on Friday Night Smackdown as of late. To me, really saved the show. As far as I'm concerned, it was a really good main event. And, whenever you close out a go-home show, normally on go-home shows, we don't see this kind of quality main event matches with Team RK-No and Kane and the Shield, but they really closed out their go-home show to Payback in a really, really good way and, on a positive note as far as I'm concerned. That's why I give it a 3.5 out of 5, Rick.
Yeah, I have to definitely say that this go home show was really outstanding. Opening segment, really liked. The Sheamus Antonio Cesaro match, excellent. I still think that they could have given Antonio the win. Even if it was just kind of like, with a Damien Sandow doing a kind of like a run in and kind of screwing Sheamus. But you know what? They didn't want to do it. That's just WWE being, WWE. Heath Slater over the Great Khali thing, I don't get. I'm not going to choose to get. The tag team match, great to see Dolph back, but, um, the tag team match again, it's just a setup. The Kaitlyn Aksana match. You know what? Kaitlyn just going off on the rampage. We talked about this real quick. I want to get into. We talked about Kaitlyn's, like little backstory about how she was possibly gang raped. I'm wondering if she seeded that in, if she fed that to the media, and that's why this whole thing's working out. Do you guys would you guys agree with that for a moment?
I honestly, I don't know.
Because you know what? It makes sense. I thought about it and I'm like, it's just too obvious. It makes too much sense and it fits too well. That's just me.
Hmm.
I'm starting to, because when Andy told me, I'm like, wow. And then I looked, I'm like, yeah, you're right. And then when she attacked Asana the way she did, it makes so much sense now. I'm like, no, 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 no. That was WWE telling her to go in there and interview and plant that information. Think about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some time to think about it, but
That's just me. Because anyways, The Miz always cuts great promos, but and of course, Team Uncanny Shield, same thing as I said at the beginning. But overall, yeah, I have to give it 4 out of 5.
Will, what about you? Your overall score and thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown this week?
Let's go down the line. Yeah, opening segment with the arguments of Team RK No and Kane just really fueled up pretty much anger from what I've seen, quote unquote anger, and which developed at the Shield did their promo, in which this is just going to be that type of match for payback. So I thought that was okay. The Sheamus Cesaro match, I couldn't really get into the match as I thought it would. But, Sheamus got the win. You move on. And Sandow, well, that's Damien Sandow. Now, like just Rick mentioned, yeah, the Heath Slater Khali match. I mean, you could have took a circle walking back and we would have already known that Slater won. Why? Because, yes, the interference with ADDT. So let's not forget that. Whoop-de-doo. Jericho and Del Rio versus Ziggler and Biggie Langston. Yeah, you didn't figure that Ziggler was going to do that much. But I think it was a average type of match, in my opinion. So, yeah, Jericho and Del Rio got the win. Kaitlyn and Aksana. Can we say Kaitlyn in Super Saiyan mode? For all you Dragon Ball Z fans out there. Yeah, just damn. Just damn, in my opinion. And Curtis Axel and Wade Barrett, like I said, I wanted to stay away from this match as much as possible, but you can't help but look. Even though. So, I mean, there you go. And the Miz being on commentary and whatnot, so there you go. And Team RK No and Kane defeated the Shield, in which finally the Shield is no longer undefeated. So, we didn't think that they were going to win, but they did. So there you go. Overall of the show, I will give it a 3 out of 5.
So what we want to know now from you guys out there, the viewers and subscribers, your thoughts on Friday Night Smackdown this week. Be sure you put your comments in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and favorite this video. Rick, where can fans check you out on HWR?
Of course, they can always find me on my Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And, of course, if you want to listen to any of our shows, we can find, of course, Billy, Will, Andy, and all the rest of the guys. You can find me that's on Spreaker.com/HWR Media.
And I'm not on my PlayStation Vita. Will, The Bay Area MVP, Will, is an Instagib game show guru. Will, what you got coming up?
Ain't nothing going up tomorrow. I'm getting ready to watch Payback, so I could see a better pay-per-view than that Extreme Rules bullshit that everybody here agrees that it'll be a lot more better. But I pretty much just want to see Kaitlyn and AJ just tear it out. Basically it.
Also, please don't forget to subscribe to youtube.com/WrestleGamer and youtube.com/ZFXTV Network. So for the Illuminous win, the Shining Star, Rick Star, and the Bay Area MVP known as Will, I'm the WrestleGamer, Double B Billy Boudreaux, saying thank you very much for watching. We also like to remind everyone that Gulf Coast Wrestling presents the Rock in the House weekend with our very special guests, Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson of the Rock and Roll Express. Friday, June 28th at the Station Bar and Grill in Broussard, Louisiana. Saturday, June 29th at the KC Hall in Plaquemine, Louisiana. And Sunday, June 30th at the American Legion Hall in Abbeville, Louisiana. For more information, please call 337-251-0546 or visit gcw-gulfcoastwrestling.com. I wonder if we can bill Hardys for all the psychiatric trauma they've been causing as of late on WWE.
Probably.
Stoke Artist. Stoke Artist. Stoke Artist. Stoke Artist. Spiritual speaking. Stoke Artist. Stoke Artist. I'm Haley Ringrose. Stoke Artist.
My name's Andrew Weatherall.
Spiritual speaking. Stoke Artist.